Conor McGregor to command headlines. That's hard to replace.
Let's bring in Kenny Florian now, our expert. He's the host of the Anakin Florian podcast. At Kenny Florian is the Twitter account. Kenny, welcome. How are you today, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. The Conor McGregor injury is obviously the headline. You don't want to take anything away from Poirier, but man, that's a sight. When you watched it happen, how did you feel, and how does he get out of that?
You know, I was kind of unsure of what the heck was going on. I certainly didn't see it live. It looked like he kind of lost his balance and kind of just sprained his ankle and sat down. And then, sure enough, you know, they showed the replay, and then it was clear of what had happened. It was a tib-fib break, which has become somewhat common over the last year or so. Just a wild injury that could have happened in a lot of different places throughout the fight. It seems like it was some kind of collision. It looked like when Conor went to kick, he kicked that elbow, or close to the elbow anyway, of Dustin Poirier, and may have cracked it when he did that initially. Then when he stepped kind of on his toes, all his weight went on his foot. And then the break happened completely. So a horrible injury, and really left me, unsatisfied, of course, as that was the trilogy fight.
So, Kenny, I mean, I don't know I'm not sure if you've ever experienced that particular injury, but in your experience, what does that kind of an injury mean for a fighter?
Thankfully, I haven't. It's a tough injury for a couple different reasons. Obviously, there's the physical thing of it. You know, depending on how they. I'm no surgeon or anything like that. My dad is, but how they fix it is of the utmost importance to make sure that it heals well, that there are no physical problems down the line. So that's the first issue. The second issue, though, I think is the mental implications of it moving forward. Will you be willing to throw a kick in the future? Will you be willing to block a kick in the future? How does that affect your training? So, he definitely has an uphill battle, both with, being off of his feet for a little while, and then eventually, doing his physical therapy work. That's going to take him a little bit to get back to 100%. And then there's the training aspect. It's a horrible injury, and again, Chris Weidman just had it. I'd assume that some are worse than others. I'd be curious to see what more of the details are in regards to the Conor McGregor injury, though.
It comes at an age where maybe you'd have second thoughts. I mean, is enough for him, or do you see him going on?
Geez, you know what? I would say that he probably will go on. I do not think he wants to end his career on that note. However, Conor McGregor has amassed quite the fortune over the last few years. Does he need to fight? Absolutely not. But I do think that legacy does matter to him, and I think that he would love to have that fight against Dustin Poirier once again. I think it's been really a crazy roller coaster ride for Conor, and I would think he would want to kind of turn things around here and come back and fight.
So, Kenny, there's two different questions there, and I'm interested in both of them. Like, does he need to come back? We all know the pull of the ring or the octagon, and of course the pull of the paychecks. Yeah. But I'm wondering, like, does MMA and UFC need him, because he is by far and away, the mainstream image guy that this sport relies upon, and he would leave a hole that would be very difficult to replace, at least in the short term. Would he not?
I agree. I think that's very accurate. I think that Conor is most certainly the biggest star in the sport for a reason. And even just watching and kind of sitting down as a fan, I don't recall really another fighter who's able to bring in that kind of excitement when he gets into the octagon. Hate him or love him, he brings an interest that is unlike anyone else. And I think that, he still is creative enough. He's still dynamic enough. He is still dangerous enough to bring in a gate. I think this fight, the result, is not the one that he wanted, but I do think he still established himself as a huge draw. It really was unfortunate the way that he ended. But it was my understanding that he did want to stay busy this year, that he wanted to have like 3 fights this year, which indicates that he is extremely motivated and definitely wants to fight.
Yeah, I mean, he's active and he's a performer, and performers perform. I just wonder at some point when he does go to step away, what does he step away to?
Yeah, that is a problem for a lot of professional athletes, particularly fighters whose identity really is fighting at the end of the day. And I think getting out of that can prove tricky for a lot of people. I do know, obviously, that Conor has a growing family. He does have other businesses, and I'm sure a lot of other business ventures waiting in the wings for him. So, is that going to be the same thing? Is that going to satisfy, his appetite as a guy who seemingly loves being in chaos and loves challenging himself on a physical level? I'm not sure. I guess time will tell.